How's everybody doing out there? Let me know. As always, let me know. Make sure our mics are working correctly. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. We have a pretty good show for you guys today. We have the city of Del Rio mayor joining us in a last minute acceptance. We were bugging him for an interview, and thanks guys, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me correctly. Yeah, we have the mayor, the city of Del Rio, and he's been. We thank him for his time and letting us talk to him, interview him. We know he's busy. Besides being the mayor at the great city of Del Rio, he also has his own job, and he's traveling right now. So we really appreciate that he's out here. I see that he's logged in already. So we're gonna go ahead and bring him on. Not take too much of his time, guys. One of the things we're gonna be talking about with him is the thing going on with all the immigration and stuff like that. We have a few questions, and we've been trying to get a hold of the mayor for the city of Eagle Pass. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring on Mayor Bruno Lozano. Thank you very much. Let's bring him on. Hey, how
Hello,
you doing, Mayor?
hello.
How's it
How's it
going?
going? It's good, good, good. Greetings from
It's good
Grand
to see you.
Rapids.
Good to see you.
I am on a work trip right now. So yeah, thank you for having me. Hello, Eagle Pass. How's everybody doing down in our favorite sister city, Eagle Pass, Texas?
Good, good. Hey, Mayor. First of all, I just want to say thank you for joining us. I mean, I know you're traveling right now with work and everything, and we've been bugging you for a while to get you on our feed, on our page to talk to you, ask some questions. So we really
Right.
appreciate it, and I think you've made a lot of fans lately, especially in the Eagle Pass area, Maverick County. So. Of course, one of the things we want to talk about right out of the gate is back in February we had a snowstorm. Many of us around our age hasn't we never seen anything like that. It was unprecedented where we had several people. I mean, not several. I think the majority of people without
Thousands.
light, power, water, and everything like that. And one of the things that we saw you come out and you said a strong piece about contacting President Biden. And just kind of letting them have it about the whole immigration issue. Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to thank you once again for having me on the show, and I really want to give a special shout out to Debbie Nieto who helped us connect this whole media shout out. She's been an instrumental part of keeping me in check and making sure that I'm doing things for the people, which has been part of my platform this entire time. I know that I get a lot of support from Eagle Pass. When I was down there for the Pride Parade, for example, you guys definitely gave me a whole bunch of support. And I want to thank the city of Eagle Pass and everybody from Eagle Pass for supporting somebody from Del Rio. You guys are an awesome community. I love Eagle Pass. Nonetheless, you guys, whatever we go through, I feel like you guys go through and vice versa. So that
Mhm.
being said, yeah, no, I'll give you the background on my philosophy. I might be a registered Democrat, but I was elected by the people of Del Rio, and I got a lot of support from the Republican side, not just the Democratic side. And I think
Oh,
that's
wow.
important to note that when you run as an elected official for the city, you are nonpartisan. You don't declare Democrat, you don't declare Republican. You have to go grassroots and really get the support of your community. And so the people voted me in. I won with a landslide. I won with 60% back in 2018, and I've always carried that with me. I vote on things that are dais that support my community, and I try to do my best that I can with information that's not always like released um, as quickly as it could be. But I do have the community in hindsight and in the forefront, and I'm always thinking about the betterment of my community. And so when I vote on things on the dais, that's what I look into basically. So that being said, when we were experiencing the winter storm, as Eagle Pass was, as the rest of the state was, I was managing the loss of electricity. I personally did not have power for 3.5 days. I lost running water about 2 days into the whole winter storm because the city was, we lost water to our water pumps, as many communities in Texas did. And so the day that I found out, that Tuesday, February 16th, when I was told that there was going to be migrants released in my community, I pretty much just I couldn't process the fact that there was such a huge disconnect with the federal government, the state government, and local government as far as what we were dealing with on the ground. And managing the police response, the fire department response, EMS response, COVID-19, the fact that we didn't have running water or electricity, I had to declare what an elected official and what the emergency management director has authority over, and that's ingress and egress of my community with people that are not from here, basically. And I made a hard stance against the Biden administration at the time to not release any, refugees, asylees, migrants, persons that entered unlawfully into the community, because we could not house them. I could barely house my own community. I could barely find shelter. We barely had the Civic Center up and running for shelter and blankets and cots that were socially distanced. What would have been the perception if we had, allowed the migrants to come in when my own community, my own citizens and constituents were without everything right now, at the time. And even myself, I mean, there's no way. My mother was at home in my living room with my niece, my nephew, my brother, my sister-in-law, and I'm supposed to take care of 15 individuals that chose to make a decision to cross unlawfully during a winter storm. Yeah. I just did not support that. And so we had been trying to talk to the administration. We've been trying to talk to the Department of Homeland Security that entire day, and to no avail. Nobody was listening. They obviously weren't watching the news, or if they were making decisions that were contrary to what we were dealing with in Texas. And I did what I did, and I stand by it. I firmly stand by it. Obviously, it's transpired into what we're dealing with now and managing now with the immigration crisis, which is a complete crisis in our communities. And here we are today. Now we have what's going on, and I feel that the community needs to be represented by people that will stand up for them, even in the most challenging times, and that's what I did.
No, and I totally agree with you. I mean, I think I've never served a public office. I've worked, for public facilities and with the city of Del Rio. Actually, I'm sure you remember seeing me around in the halls there, Mayor. But the thing is that and I think you definitely hit it on the head whenever you said as an elected official, you're elected by the people and you should serve the people. One of the things I do want to come back and ask, you did mention about going against the administration right now that's Democratic. I mean, you're a Democrat, and that's not something that I don't hear many Democrats out there, going against the grain. I mean, because that's honestly, that's what you did. And I just want to kind of dive into that a little bit more if we can. Are you a little worried about you did that? Or I mean, because I'm just looking at the comment real quick, a true leader. And that's the way I feel. And I think a lot of other people feel the same way, is that if you're an elected official, we the people, I know you're in Del Rio, right? But I share that same sentiment, is that people elected you, you were defending your people, and, you went against your party. Not many Democrats are doing that right now. Let's put it that way. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Right. So let's circle back. In 2019, I called out the administration that was in office then as well. I remember having a group meeting with the county and the hospital district here in Val Verde County, and I laid it down to Senator Cornyn and Senator Cruz for not coming to the border and not visiting our communities. I laid it down. So the thing is that back then it was a Democrat against Republican, so of course it didn't get the media attention, but I was firm. I've been firm about this immigration policy since the very beginning. I feel like it's a travesty to our communities. It's something that, you know, we have all these elected officials from Missouri and New York and all these Democrats and Republicans on either side that are so opposite of each other, making these policies that affect our communities. But so seldom do you see anybody from the border actually making policy changes or anybody from the border being listened to. That's the key phrase right here, is that nobody listens to us. We knew this was going to be a problem. We knew that had the Biden administration actually spoken to any mayor or our counterparts, our sister city mayors, you know, Ciudad de Cunha, Piedras Negras, Nuevo Laredo, and so forth, we knew that migrants were there. We've seen them. We knew that they were waiting along, but nobody bothered to call us, give us a heads up, say, hey, what's going on? How can we make this better? Nobody did that. And so going back to what I said earlier, I called out the previous administration and the Trump administration, but guess what? The Trump administration actually took a hard stance on the COVID-19 measures to protect the American citizens. That administration did not tolerate unlawful entry into communities, and what they did is they deported everybody 100%. There was no tolerance of anybody coming in. Mm-hmm. They went so far as to establish a migrant protection protocol so that when the border does actually open up, we can process those individuals that are seeking asylum, seeking opportunities in the United States. But they actually deported 100%. This administration is not doing that. And I know that there's this dialogue in Washington, D.C. that, oh, Mayor, they are deporting somebody. They are deporting these individuals. Tell that to Eagle Pass. Tell that to Del Rio. Tell that to all of our communities that see these individuals walking our streets. You know, small businesses are being affected. They're being broken into. We have them at our municipal golf course. You guys have that infamous, you know, fence along your golf course, for example. But we see the migrants crossing at the shallow waters because they want to get caught. What we don't see is those individuals that are sketchy, that are, you know, manipulators, and that are taking advantage of this system, and they're the ones that don't want to be caught. Speak to those individuals in Sanderson, Texas, those ranching community individuals that are out there trying to figure out whether to protect their property and their livelihoods and their spouses and loved ones from these individuals that are crossing unlawfully and actually causing havoc up there in those communities. It's not being transmitted to this administration, and I'm a firm critic of this, and I believe it's a completely failed policy, and I just don't understand why we're condoning this behavior. Allowing unlawful entry only enables organized criminal activity in Mexico. I mean, it's not like these individuals are using Google Maps or Apple Maps to cross over from Mexico. It's not like Apple Maps says, oh, cross here. This is the shallow water between Acuña and Del Rio, or Piedras Negras and Del Rio. That's not how it works at all. And this administration has been completely aloof. They failed to acknowledge that it's a crisis. They haven't spoken publicly about it. But yet here we are as Del Rio, Eagle Pass, listening to the rhetoric that's being transmitted about, you know, stop Asian hate. You know, they're out there in Atlanta. They went to Houston to go visit, you know, the city that was, you know, needing help. AOC went down there and donated $2 million some odd for that community. We saw them go to the shootings in Denver. Yet here it is in our own backyard. We're American citizens. We're American communities. We are cities. The border begins. The United States begins in Eagle Pass. The United States begins in Eagle Pass, Texas, and Del Rio, Texas, and Carrizo Springs. We are just as American as those individuals living in Chicago, living in Fargo, living in West Virginia. We are just as American as they are. Yet they're not acknowledging the fact that we are dealing with a crisis. And then you have this whole other dialogue of Democrats out there, you know, parading around and doing tours and everything, giving themselves a pat on the back because now it's like migrants are in great care. But that's not solving the problem of this broken policy. Why are we condoning unlawful entry? Why are we condoning parents telling their children to cross by themselves, abandoning their children at our community border so that they can get a better life in the United States? That's child abandonment. If it was me or you, we would be thrown in jail for that kind of behavior. And we
right away.
There's no way we would be allowed. Oh, pobrecito, it's because they're seeking a better life in the United States. Ay, pobrecito, que sabe que más, you know. No, we would, all of us, every single person that's a citizen of Eagle Pass, of Del Rio, Texas, if they're a parent, and they told their child, oh, cross into Kennedy County because Kennedy County has better opportunities, we'd all be thrown in jail. We would all be thrown in jail. And our children would not be getting better education or in classrooms more than our other children. Our own
Yep.
children have to still stay virtual meetings and virtual classrooms or whatever at so much percentage. But you see the outcome that's coming out in San Diego, California right now, where teachers are choosing to teach their children in person or virtual. Why are they prioritizing children that aren't even from here? Meanwhile, our children are committing suicide. They're at home. They're distraught. They're being sexually abused. They're being physically abused because the teachers aren't there to protect them and watch their behavior patterns or whatever. It's absolutely absurd. And I will call them out. I don't care if I'm Democrat. I don't care if I'm Republican. I don't care if I'm whatever. This is my duty to protect my community and my citizens, period.
Oh, well said, Mayor. Well said. I mean, I think a lot of your message that you're sending out really resonates with a lot of what our citizens, not Eagle Pass, not Del Rio, but just the region in general. A lot of people feel this way, and I'm seeing the comments are flying in, and I have to ask.
I'm not on social media, so I can't see the comments. I mean, I'm on it, but not personally.
Well, I have to ask because I mean I'm looking at this. I mean they're coming up, and you're getting a lot of like I said, your message is resonating with a lot of people, and our viewing is of course predominantly in Eagle Pass. We have some Del Rio and around the region everywhere. Oh no, yeah, of course. I mean, and what I'm moving on next to is that what are you thinking about the future? I mean, right now I just saw a comment come in. You should run for the governor of Texas.
Oh,
Now,
I appreciate you guys.
I mean, this is the city of Eagle Pass. We understand that's where the majority of our viewers are from and our followers, because it's the community was built here in Eagle Pass. But we are trying to spread, and we really appreciate you coming on. But if you can elaborate, I mean, you're well liked in this area, I mean, do we have anything coming up ahead, a congressman type of thing, or state rep thing? We just want to hear.
Well, let me just reiterate the fact that I do work for a Fortune 500 company, and when I'm asked about what's going on in the communities that we live in, people actually support what we're doing right now. What I'm speaking on, and I think that just resonates with the entire country is that I don't know what this administration is thinking as far as condoning this behavior or thinking that people are admiring this behavior of funding $86 million to people stay in hotels or, and I appreciate that $110 million going through FEMA to help feed and clothe the individuals. But I can tell you that people left and right are not condoning this behavior. They're not supportive of it at all. It's a broken policy. And I'm holding this new administration to the position that they ran on transparency, they ran on reform, they ran on getting things done, and it's been anything but when it comes to immigration. Here they are passing COVID-19 bills, and $2 trillion for infrastructure, but they refuse to acknowledge the fact that there's an immigration crisis happening at the border. They're over here enticing Russia and China and talking about Putin and Xiao and all these established leaders in the global platform when they're laughing at us. We have our own backyard wide open. And then you're telling border communities that, the port of entry is closed to protect us from COVID-19, but yet we're exposed to, even with testing being done, we're exposed to COVID-19 because of the unlawful entry. Where do you think our Border Patrol agents live? Do they think they live in a Border Patrol city, 10 miles outside of Eagle Pass or Del Rio? No. The Border Patrol agents are our family. They're our friends. They're our cousins. They're our relatives. They take their children to our schools. They live with us. We're exposed directly to them. And to have this nonsense say there's no evidence of direct exposure. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. The CDC says you're exposed with these variables, and 15 minutes with this person or whatever. That's the Border Patrol is with them far more than 15 minutes when they're transporting these individuals from the terrain out there that they detain them in. By the time they get to the processing centers, it's rhetoric. It's just complete broken rhetoric and a complete broken policy, and I will not stand for it. So, that being said, you asked me if I have anything in the lines or what have you. I'm open to different paths that I may take. I will tell you that I have a lot of support with my family. My family is my backbone. My mom, God bless her, that she's still with me. I lost my father about 4 years ago this year,
Sorry
and I
about.
know that he'd be a big supporter. However, process this past year has just been something that's just been eye-opening, especially the last 3 months with the astonishment of what our priorities are as a country and as patriots, Americans, and everything. I really need to consider what my future will hold as far as the political atmosphere goes and where my venues will take me and lead me. I appreciate the support from Eagle Pass, and I'll take that as a hint. Maybe talking to other leaders across the state or what have you. But I'm gonna just observe the next few months and see where this immigration leads us and see where the municipal government leads me. Right now in Del Rio, we're trying to support Port Plains, the feasibility study that we passed, and Eagle Pass is on board, Laredo's on board. We're trying to make sure that we have higher education prioritized, which I support, higher education in our communities. And I want to make sure I do fine tune that while I'm still in office and maybe run again, maybe not run again, and see where that leads me. As far as the future goes, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestion. I'll leave it at that. The vague. You know how politicians can be. We can be vague. But
well, Mayor,
I will tell you this. I have a vision and I'm sticking to it. That's what I've always been told. Stick to your vision, and I do.
no, Mayor, and I mean, right now you saying this and the conversation you're having, I mean, you don't sound like a politician. That's what I'm saying,
I'm a
and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's something that's going to work to your favor, and any kind of future endeavors that you might want to have. But I mean, looking for the comments, you have a lot of support from the city of Eagle Pass. And we appreciate you coming on. We don't want to take too much of your
I'm
time,
good.
right?
I still
But
have some time. You're good. You can ask me some more questions. It's okay.
I, I mean, if we were going to ask you some more questions, I mean, I would want to know if there's any other issues that are maybe coming up in Del Rio that you can foresee maybe in the region that we're going to impact, or that something is coming on.
Sure, I can highlight on some things. I think, and I understand that Del Rio and Eagle Pass are rival cities. I get that, and there's still some resentment with each other's communities. But I just want to make sure that the city of Eagle Pass, because I know that I've been really stronghold on regionalizing our area, including Uvalde. We support each other economically. I know a lot of Del Rians that are employed in Eagle Pass and vice versa. And I know that a lot of Del Rians go down to your communities and your stores, and you guys shop, and you shop here in Del Rio and we shop there in Eagle Pass. But I really want you to understand that, why that's so important right now, because our communities have land, we have space, and we have the potential to grow a lot stronger than other communities that haven't seen this. We can get more bridges to cross to our sister cities in Piedras Negras and Ciudad Acuña. Those two cities are also big economic powerhouses with each other. And we really need to think collectively and not individually. I recognize the fact that Del Rioans are going to want Del Rio first and Eagle Pass. I get that. We can definitely still do that to some degree, but if we can go in there to Austin or DC together as a big body, that's basically 100,000 people fighting for something, because between the counties, there's 50,000 people in each county. That's 100,000 people just in our counties alone. And that's a lot more powerful than just going at it by ourselves with 50,000 people individually. And I really want to plant that seed, because that's how we can get collective bargaining to get universities or higher education or better roads, better infrastructure investment. When we think collectively like that, that'll empower us far more than just just Eagle Pass or just Del Rio. I really want you guys to remember that whenever I'm in Austin, I always think about my sister cities, Uvalde and Eagle Pass. I really do. And you can ask previous Mayor Cantu, and you can ask Mayor Cifuentes that I'm always regionalizing the area.
Oh, of course, and I do want to touch on real quick. You are a veteran. That's correct, right?
That's right.
So I mean, I know a lot of our area has not really offered too many things. So I'm sure that kind of hit close to home, where a lot of the immigration issues and stuff like that, where we have our a lot of veterans out there that are homeless, and they need assistance. And I can't believe it. It's probably a little difficult for you maybe to see that stuff, or let it happen to where it's like, man, it's tough, because I mean, we have a lot of issues here with our veterans, and we have some people do advocate for them. But I think a young man, young guy like yourself coming out, you're a veteran, you're, giving the message you're giving, regardless of what party or what's happening, you're here for the people.
Right.
And I like I said, we're just looking at the comments here. Some people are interested in you coming down, maybe running for mayor for the city of Eagle Pass. But I mean, we really appreciate you coming on, Mayor. Again, we've had a good time listening to this. I'll say I've been trying to get the city of Eagle Pass mayor on for us, and for whatever reason it hasn't happened. So it means a lot. Apart from me, the rising Texan and everything, I just want to thank you for your time. I know being a mayor, having your own work that you need to take care of and all that. I mean, you're a busy guy. I appreciate that. I just want to go ahead and say again, thank you so much for taking some time, and I hope sometime in the future we can sit down again and talk a little bit more about maybe other issues that may come up.
Yeah, we can always talk about the veterans thing, because I mean, I just will comment that it's really frustrating as a veteran that there's $86 million going to migrants that chose to cross unlawfully, and you have the veteran population that is oftentimes homeless in many major metropolitan cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco. There's a lot of veterans out there, and to see where this administration is prioritizing people that aren't even from here is really, really disappointing. And as a veteran, I'm very disappointed in the administration right now. I know that I'm not the only one that's a Democrat that's feeling the same resentment or sentiment towards this policy. Yeah, no, I'll be happy to come back. I know that you guys are doing a great job down there in Eagle Pass, and I'm very excited for your community. I think that whatever good things happen in Eagle Pass is greatly beneficial to the city of Del Rio, and don't forget, we got to support each other. I realize we're rivals on the football teams or soccer fields or whatever, but as a community, we got to support each other. We really do. We're more similar with each other than we are different for other communities. Eagle Pass and Del Rio are much more linked than we are with Laredo or El Paso or the Valley, and we got to remember that when we're fighting for our support system, especially with the migrant population. Like, we need the infrastructure investment. We need the policies to be fixed, because we're the ones affected more than the other cities are right now. And I will continue to fight my fight for all of us. So thank you again.
All right. Yeah. Again, we thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time, of course. And we wish you, nothing but the best of luck in your future endeavors. We will be speaking soon and seeing if we can get you on another day to talk a little bit more about this veteran situation and others that arise. But we want to say thank you, on behalf of the viewers, the commenters. Thank you very much, Mayor, and be safe and take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir. You guys have a great night. Thank you, Eagle Pass, for having me, and you guys enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Right. See you later, Mayor. All right, guys, just real quick, we have District Attorney for the 293rd Judicial District already waiting for us to come on. We have a few questions to ask him about the bill that's going on, the HB4280, that creates a new district in Maverick County, solely for Maverick County. So we're going to bring him on up. I know he's been waiting, but it was a great little interview that we had with the city of Del Rio mayor. We appreciate him, of course, for coming on. And now we have, without further ado, 293rd Judicial District, District Attorney Roberto Serna coming on.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good evening. How you doing, Mr. Serna? Good to have you. Sorry we had you waiting a little bit long, but
no problem, my pleasure.
Oh no, thank you for coming on. And let's just get right to it. I know you have a busy schedule as well, and we're bringing you on. mostly because of the issue that has arisen lately. I know some of our followers have seen the issue where there was an HB 4280 filed by State Representative Morales. And we just want to ask you about it. We saw the bill, we reported about it. We did see some press releases that come out. So that's why we reached out to you to see if we can get some comment. And we appreciate your time. I don't know if you want to go ahead and discuss how you feel about it. Were you contacted or what's going on?
Well, first of all, good evening to everyone that's listening and seeing us on Facebook. I hope that you all are having a good day, and I, in advance, wish you a very happy and safe Easter. We still have COVID-19 in the area. It's a very dangerous pandemic that we're going through, so please stay safe and keep your loved ones safe as well. Now, in terms of why we're here, thank you for the invitation, is because there was a bill, 4280, that was filed by our state representative, Mr. Morales. Now, this bill, and let me start by saying this first. I am all for change when change is right and proper and correct. If something is for the betterment of our community and we need to change something, I am all for it. I support it. What I do not support is the waste of taxpayers' money. I also do not support people not being informed of what their public officials are doing. I think that public officials are just that. We are servants of the public. We serve the public. We have a mandate by getting voted into office that's given to us by the people to represent the people. The office of the 293rd Judicial District does not belong to Roberto Serna. It does not. It belongs to the people of the 293rd Judicial District that voted in a fair and honest election to have me to continue serving as their district attorney for them. I work for them. I work for the people of Maverick, Dimmitt, and Zavala County. That is the mandate that I received, and that is the solemn oath that I took on January the 1st of 2020. Now, what is happening with House Bill 4280? Well, it's trying to create a new judicial district attorney. The way the bill is filed now, it calls for the creation of the 479th Judicial District. What does that mean? Well, in order to have the creation of a judicial district, you have to automatically create a district court. So what this bill is actually doing, if you actually read the proposed bill that's been filed, it is actually maybe inadvertently, maybe not, but the end result is that it's actually creating or wanting to create not only a district attorney's office, but also a district court for Maverick County and only for Maverick County. Now, this, of course, let's just talk about the district attorney's office. Now, the cost is very high. You have to have a district attorney that the state has to pay and provide for. So the state of Texas, which is now in a deficit budget because of the pandemic, we don't have money in the state of Texas, has to first determine whether or not there's sufficient funding to fund a new district attorney position. We don't have the money. The taxpayers of Texas do not have the money. We cannot justify it. And if you were to create a new judicial district, there's some steps that you need to follow. The first one is, and they were not followed in this case, and why they were not followed in this case, I don't know. But I don't want to badmouth anybody or accuse anybody of anything. I'm just stating facts, the truth. I was never contacted. And I'm the person that's affected because I am the duly elected representative of the people in the 293rd Judicial District office. I was never contacted about the possibility of there being a bill filed to create the 479th that only would represent Maverick County. I was never contacted. I would have been very happy to discuss the issues, the facts, the statistics, the numbers and would have provided what was necessary in order for there to be an informed decision as to whether or not such a finding was necessitated. Now, first of all, the cost. The cost to the county of Maverick would double because you would have to create the position, of course. You have to fund the position, and then the state would have to fund their part of that position. And the approximate cost is $1 million of your tax money. This money doesn't grow in trees. It comes from you having to pay your Maverick County taxes. That's where the money's coming from. Can we justify it? Well, can we justify a massive increase if you don't have an informed public? I would have been able to tell whoever was willing to speak to me about this issue that, okay, why is there a backlog? Well, there's a pandemic that's closed the entire state of Texas. For over a year, businesses have been closed, restaurants have been closed or shut down or limited in capacity. The district courts and county courts, JP courts, municipal courts, they've been closed. Grand juries are hard to come by because this pandemic can kill you. This virus can kill you. So we have not had the type of activity in court that we had, for example, in 2019. It has been reported that in 2019, we had over 10,000 jury trials in the state of Texas. After the pandemic struck the state of Texas, it's down to less than 250 or close to 250 approximately. Mm-hmm. This backlog, according to state officials, is going to take years to recover from. It's hit us hard, but it's hit everybody, not just the court system. So is there a backlog in the district courts? Yes. Is there a backlog in the JP courts? Yes. Is there a backlog in the county attorney's office? Yes. Is there a backlog in municipal court? Yes, of course. Is there a backlog in the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court? Yes. Is there a backlog in the district attorney's office? Yes, of course. It's affected us all as Americans, as Texans. This pandemic does not forgive. It affects us all throughout the community. Now, what figures are there to even justify Maverick County qualifying for their own district attorney? At this point in time, we qualify because we combine the numbers from Zavala and Dimmitt. Combining the numbers of Zavala, Dimmitt, and Maverick, then the 293rd district does qualify for a district attorney for these three counties. This bill proposes that Maverick County on its own have its own district attorney. Okay, do you have the numbers? There's been no analysis about that. There's been no research as to that. We don't know if we have the numbers. Is there a real true backlog, or is it caused by the pandemic? We'll find out in another year or so. Now, again, how do you make change? Because what does it affect? Well, it affects Maverick County taxpayers. You're going to have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars more for something that you may not need. What happens to Zavala and Dimmitt? Well, first of all, Zavala and Dimmitt do not qualify for their own district attorney. Combined, you have 12,000 people in Zavala County and 10,400 in Dimmitt County. They do not qualify with 20,400 people for their own district attorney. It cannot be done. They do not qualify. Secondly, they were not consulted. They were not contacted and said, hey, we're going to move the 293rd Judicial District Attorney's Office only to Zavala and Dimmitt, and that is going to cost you about twice what you're paying now. So be prepared, Zavala County, be prepared, Dimmitt County, to pay about $200,000 more than you're paying now from your taxpayers' money in order to support this district attorney's office that you don't even qualify for. But this never came up. This was never put on any agenda for the county commissioners of Zavala, Dimmitt, nor Maverick. We didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it. Is that right? I respectfully disagree. You have to have an informed decision. The first thing that would have happened is Maverick County taxpayers would have said, do we need this? These are my tax dollars. I work hard for this money. Do we really need this office? At this point in time, I can assure you and tell you that no, we do not need a district attorney solely for Maverick County. But they argue, well, there's a backlog. There's a simple solution to that. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a restaurant and you open the restaurant and you have one waitress. And then your business grows, your restaurant gets popular, and you find that your waitress is overworked and you as a cook are overworked. And you say to yourself, well, you know what? I need another cook. I need another waitress. You don't go across the street and open up another restaurant that's going to be restaurant number 2 and hire a cook there and another waitress there and say, okay, now I've got 2 restaurants, restaurant 1 and across the street, restaurant 2. And now if you go either one of them, we'll be able to accommodate you. You don't do that. What you do is if you're a wise, smart, intelligent business owner, you say, okay, I need another cook. You hire an assistant cook.
Mm-hmm.
If you need another waitress, what do? You hire another waitress. You don't create another restaurant down the street with another cook and another waitress because your first restaurant can't meet the needs. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not reasonable. It's not based on common sense and logic. If the district attorney's office is backlogged, what do? What is a responsible response? Okay, if they had met with me, if they talked to me and they discussed these things with me, if they said, you need help, we're going to provide you with taxpayers' money so that you can hire another prosecutor to work on Maverick County cases only, and another investigator to investigate Maverick County cases only. That would have solved the problem. And instead of costing over $1 million to the state of Texas and to Maverick County and taxpayers' money, that would only have cost about $200,000, $250,000, a savings to the community, to you, the voters, of close to $800,000.
Wow,
that's
a big figure. Yeah.
So now, I'm not saying that someone's doing this for bad reasons. I'm just saying that you have to consult with people. You have to talk to the county commissioners' courts of all 3 counties. Zavala County, Dimmitt County, they might not be willing to have their own district attorney because simply they cannot justify one. The numbers are not there, and they're going to be wasting taxpayers' money. So for these reasons and others, like I said, if it was for the betterment of Maverick County or Dimmitt County, Zavala County, I'd be all for it. But if it's to waste your hard-earned taxpayers' money just because somebody mysteriously files a bill that creates another district and they're going to throw your money away, no, it's not their money. It's not their money. It's your money. You hired these commissioners by elect them into office so to make decisions for you, but they are public servants just like I am. They work for you. They're supposed to take care of your tax dollars, not waste them. Excuse me. But like, and again, if you don't have communication, and if you don't talk to the people affected, like the district attorney, myself, or the county commissioner's court of Maverick County before you file the bill, and you don't talk to the county commissioners of Dimmitt County, Zavala County, and if you don't talk to the state to see if there's enough funding, and there isn't because we're in a deficit, then why file the bill? Don't file the bill if it's not the right thing to do. I mean, and that's why I am against this bill. I'm against this bill because I'm with the people. And I believe I pay taxes. And I pay a lot of taxes. And I don't like to pay taxes, but I do pay taxes because it's my obligation, my duty to pay taxes just as like it's yours. But I don't want to see my money thrown away. I do not. I do not want governmental spending that's wasteful. And for these reasons and others, I respectfully want to state that I certainly respect our state representative. I respect him. I respect him. I respect the county commissioners. I respectfully disagree, but I disagree because I believe I am doing the right, honest, and decent thing for our taxpayers and for our community, and acting with logic and common sense. And after researching this matter, there is no need for this bill. If there is an overflow of cases here in Maverick County, then provide us with another assistant DA. Provide us with another investigator so that we can get the job done at 1/5 the cost.
Now I know you just mentioned a little while ago about they didn't mention about this bill being filed. They didn't come communicate with you as far as anything, and I understand that. And has this whole issue with the backlog, has Maverick County ever approached you as far as, hey, we're backlogged? Do you need employees? Do you need attorneys or anything like that either?
Never. They have not. And right now, quite frankly, and it's true, we're in a pandemic. Everything is shut down. I mean, we're getting out of it. But we're still at a very high infection rate in Maverick County. We're, as a matter of fact, Eagle Pass is the #1 in the country, in the nation, according to the New York Times. We're ranked #1 in terms of COVID-19 infections. Eagle Pass, #1 in the nation. That's not something nice. That's not something you want to have. But you know, if you're going to do things, do it in the open. Put your cards on the table and say, here it is. Here's what I want to do. What is your opinion? What do you think about it? Then you have town hall meetings. You go before the public and you tell the public, this is my idea. This is what I want to do with your tax dollars. What do you think? What's your opinion? What's your input? You live here. Tell me what you think about this. Now, after I have done all of this research, and these are good people. I'm not saying they're bad people. They're not bad people. I'm not going to go there. That's not my style. I'm not going to do that. I think that it was a total lack of communication. I think it was a bill that was filed without consulting with people that they should have consulted with in order to be able to decide whether it was necessary or not, and that's basically all I'm saying. I will fight for the taxpayers of this county and this district, because we're one of the poorest districts in the nation. Maverick County has an extremely high unemployment rate. Eagle Pass is a poor city. Maverick County is a poor county. Every penny counts. And I am not going to jump on the bandwagon and say, "Oh, let's spend $500,000. We'll find the money somewhere." No, we won't. We're going to raise your taxes. If you don't have money to pay for a project, what do cities and counties do throughout the state? School districts, they raise your taxes. And if you can justify the raise in taxes, well, that's okay. But if you cannot justify your taxes being raised, then why are you doing it? Why are you wasting taxpayers' money and taking more money from people that are barely making it? There are people out there that have to very carefully watch their spending. Sometimes there's not enough food on the table. Sometimes there's not enough money to buy new clothes. Sometimes your children want something and you just simply cannot afford it. That's life. And for someone to tax you more or to waste your taxpayers' money, I disagree, and I'm not going to stand for that. And if it's not necessary, I'm going to speak out, and I am speaking out because this is something that you just can't do that to people, and you cannot do that to a district. And even though we all want to take care of our own, I've been living in Eagle Pass for more than 30 years. I don't know how old you are, but I might even have been district attorney before you were born. And I was elected for another 4-year term, and I started my 4-year term again on January the 1st of 2021. But the bottom line is, we're here to serve the public. We're here to inform the public, and we just can't do things unless there's agreement amongst all of us that it's the right thing to do.
No, absolutely. That's why, like I mentioned, we wanted to bring you on. We wanted to find out what was actually going on, because we did report about the bill, and our initial concern was, whenever you open any kind of office or anything like that, I mean, there's funding that's going to come. There's funding, that needs to be doing that, or to accomplish that. And we saw the press releases that your office sent out. And what got our concern was, that there wasn't the proper channel of communicating, with the district attorney. And I think anybody wouldn't know any better. It would be the district attorney if he needs assistance. And again,
Correct.
we just asked you earlier of, have you been contacted of other alternatives before, and to provide funding, provide different more positions to maybe this backlog that was talked about in Commissioner's Court yesterday, and of course you said there wasn't, and it's just disappointing. And I mean, a lot of comments are out here saying, in support, as far as, hey, maybe they should have told you something, or at least asked you. Yeah,
They should have told the people of Maverick County as well. It's their tax dollars. There's a saying that in Spanish que hablando se entienden las cosas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no se van a entender las cosas si no hablamos. If we don't have any communication, we're never going to understand each other.
Yeah.
It's teamwork. We have to work as a team for Maverick County. We have to work as a team for the district of Maverick de Menzabala. We have to work as a team, mm-hmm. as members of the counties of the state of Texas. Working together, can we progress? Finding things out on the last day of being able to file a bill without talking to anybody, without consulting with anybody, I think is not reasonable. It's just not the way to go.
Yeah. No, and we thank you for your time, Mr. Serna. We appreciate you. I mean, we know you're have a busy schedule as well. We had a concern, and that's why we reached out to your office to see if you wanted to comment on the situation, because we were, kind of monitoring the bill, what happened at Commissioner's Court, the press releases that you came out, the letters that you sent to the Commissioner's Court as well.
Let me tell you this. This is how people are not in agreement with this bill. Okay. There's only 4 county commissioners in Maverick County: Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct 3, and Precinct 4. Even the county commissioners were in disagreement. Two county commissioners voted against this bill. And these county commissioners represent Maverick County. The 4 mm-hmm. combined represent the entire county of Maverick. 50% of Maverick County, through their elected county commissioners, opposed this bill. They do not want this bill. And that's county commissioners that spoke. And I was not invited. I saw the item on the agenda, but I was not invited to speak. I was not invited to go talk.
So you weren't invited to put any input in that specific item?
Not at all. Wow. Not at all. I just happened to be looking at the agenda on Sunday, and I noticed that there was a county commissioners meeting on Monday, yesterday, day before, and that item number 38 dealt with a resolution with House Bill 4280, which is this one that we're talking about.
Yes.
And even in Maverick County, they don't agree to it. Two county commissioners, 50% of the county commissioners in Maverick County do not want this bill to pass. Mm-hmm. So again, si no hablas con la gente, ¿cómo esperas que la gente te apoye o que te entienda? You have to let the public know. You just can't close the door and lit a cigar and make a deal. You can't do that. You have to open the windows, open the door, let the sunshine in. Transparency. Transparency. And you tell the voters and the taxpayers, this is my plan. This is what I want to do. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we couldn't agree with you more. Again, I do want to say thank you for coming on, accepting our invitation. I think you clarified a lot of there was a lot of information going around, and people were kind of curious as to what has transpired, and I want to thank you for coming on the show and letting us know, hey, this is what happened. Like I said, we went out and we released the press releases that your office has sent out. We were monitoring the county commissioners meeting and everything. So we really appreciate you coming on. We won't take any more of your time. I don't know if you have any last minute things to say to the community.
Well, I just want to say that I have absolutely nothing against our state representative. I have absolutely nothing against our county judge. I have absolutely nothing against our county commissioners, because it's not about us. I respect them. They were elected by the people. The state representative does represent us in the House. I respect that. The county commissioners and the judge were elected by the citizens of Maverick County. I respect that, and I bear no ill will. I do not hold anything against them. I just respectfully disagree with those that are in support of this bill.
Yeah, and for the viewers also, it was a 3-2 vote. 2 county commissioners voted for, 2 against, and then you had the county judge as the deciding factor. They gave him the 3 vote to approve submitting this resolution. Again, we thank you. We know you have a busy schedule, DA. You have a backlog that you're addressing, so we know you're busy. Thank you again for coming on, and we look forward to maybe another time that we can have you on again in the show. And just thank you for your time.
Well, I'll thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. And I will appear in any. The media is the media, and if the media wants to speak to their district attorney and ask questions, I'll be available for any media outlet. Thank you very much. All of you that are listening, have a blessed evening. God bless.
All right. Well, thank you very much, District Attorney Roberto Serna for the 293rd Judicial District. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Well, I won't take up too much of your time. We already had two interviews. Our first big, chance that we had to bring you guys interviews, and we hope to continue bringing these interviews to you, whether they be local City of Eagle Pass, Maverick County elected officials, or officials in general from Maverick County or the City of Eagle Pass, correct? And this is what we want to bring you guys. We do, I want to say, I know I flashed it on the screen earlier, for April 6th, 2021 at 7 o'clock, we will have State Representative Eddie Morales to talk about a couple of bills, including this one that we're talking about today. So mark your calendars, guys. We will send out a reminder on our Facebook. Tune in. I mean, you heard what our district attorney had to say about the situation with the HB4280, creating a whole new district, the 479th district for Maverick County, solely to serve Maverick County. We're going to have Representative Eddie Morales, State Representative Eddie Morales, joining us April 6th, 7 o'clock at night in the evening. It's going to be a Tuesday. We had to accommodate his schedule. Of course, the state representative is busy, and we're more than willing to accommodate. We thank Mayor Lozano from Del Rio. We thank District Attorney Roberto Serna for making time to come on our regular show that we have. But we will accommodate to our state representative Eddie Morales, and we will be talking about the 4280, the HB 4280, which is the bill that we spoke about with Mr. Serna right now. And we will also ask about other bills of interest, and if he's open to talk about other items, and maybe we can take some comments from the community as well. One thing I do want to touch on in speaking with Mr. Serna, maybe you guys, I don't know if you guys follow my personal page in Facebook, Isaac T. Ruiz. I was always a regular. I've been a regular for the past couple of months, following the Maverick County page, and I try to comment things. And God bless, I've had 12 years with the city. I work with the city of Eagle Pass. I worked with Maverick County for about a year, and I also worked for the city of Del Rio for about a year as well. So before I started my own little projects here. But the thing I'm getting at is that I'm glad that I have this kind of experience to ask these kind of questions, to bring up these things for you guys to, just ask and be knowledgeable about. I know some of these things, the HB, the 4280 HB, what we're talking about. Not many people know how to go into these websites and check to see what bills are being filed by your state representatives, by your congressmen. We don't know, and these are things that, like, through experience that I've learned with working with public entities, that I've been able to gain, and I want to share with the community, because knowledge is power, guys. Knowing what's going on, what's happening around our community. I'm not trying to attack any side. I'm not trying to say I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. To me, that's not what I'm out here for. Even when I worked for these public entities, I was always for the people. When I was there, I was for the employees. I was there, at one time with the city of Eagle Pass, I was nominated by the employees, elected as the grievance committee chair. Shout out to the city of Eagle Pass employees that are still there, that when I was there, right? And I think it speaks to where I'm here for, the people. And I'm glad we had Mayor Lozano on our show, and he's for the people. You guys heard him. We had our district attorney Roberto Serna as well, and he said the same thing. He's here for the people, and at the end of the day, that's what your elected officials should realize, that we are here for the people, or they are here for the people, should be for the people, because you guys are the ones who elect them. Now, one of the things that I do want to touch, like I said, I was blocked by Maverick County. Now magically I'm allowed to like their stuff again and comment on their stuff magically. Now, a lot of my friends out there and a lot of people that comment whenever I was out trying to communicate just with the community, like, hey guys, is the live going on? I'm not allowed to get on. I don't know what's happening. Is it my thing? Is it my, did I just all of a sudden get something going wrong on Facebook or what? And, it turns out that, yes, I was blocked by Maverick County. If you guys do see these meetings publicly, which I always tune in, I also tune in the City of Eagle Pass ones. I try to tune in on both City of Eagle Pass, Maverick County, as much as I can. I won't say that I make every single one, but I am verbal. I do comment on these things, and it's not to pick on any elected official. It's not, to me, this thing is not about this. This is about our community, and our community needs to know what's going on. That's why we have public information acts. That's why we have FOIA, to allow us to get these records, just in case we want to check our government, because again, we're the ones who elect these people. Don't let anybody tell you differently. We are electing these people to serve in these seats. Now, if you're giving away a vote, if you're just, following somebody in their car and, you get the little yellow sheet that, hey, these are the candidates, vote for them. I mean, that's your prerogative. It's your vote. You can do what you want with your vote. I mean, it really is. But just remember, your vote is your word. And we have elections going on right now for mayor candidates. We have elections going on for city council place 4. We're hoping to see eventually one of them reach out to us. I know we have something scheduled the first week of April tentatively with Rolando Salinas. I'm disappointed, Mayor candidate Rolando Salinas. I'm disappointed that Mayor Cifuentes, the incumbent Mayor Cifuentes, we've tried to reach out to him several times. We've tried to get his attention several times. And it's just very unfortunate. Again, I'm not trying to talk bad about him whatsoever. I want him to have an interview with us. And if he's the best candidate, then he'll be on our show and he'll talk to, the community, and he'll tell us why he is the best candidate. But we have not been, we've tried to add him on Facebook. He hasn't added us. We tried to get him on the show. We were more successful with the city of Del Rio mayor. And, I'm so excited that we were able to get him. And it was kind of a last minute thing. We've been trying to get him for the show for a while. And we weren't able to, coordinate schedules because besides being the mayor, he has his job as well. And we understand that. But whenever he reached back out to us that he had some time, of course, we wanted to bring that to the community, and it's very important. I mean, to know what's going on with the issues that a mayor, a councilman, a commissioner, a county judge, a district attorney, a state rep, they need to be reporting to you guys. They need to be reporting to you and letting you know what's happened. I don't know what happened totally. We heard, our district attorney, Roberto Serna, we heard that side of the story. We're going to have Eddie Morales, our rep as well, come on the show and let us know what's his side or what's going on or what's happening, and to touch on that issue, like I said, we were blocked by Maverick County. Thanks to the community, thank you all that send me a link to let me know what's going on and hey, look, the show is live. Hey, they went to executive session. I appreciate you guys because again, this is a community thing. I'm not doing this, for any other reason than to raise awareness in our community of what is happening in our community. There has been a long time going where they don't readily tell us what's happening, what's going on in our community, or not that they don't tell us, is just that they hide it, I guess, if you want to say it. And it's difficult when they don't tell us, and then that's one thing, but when you're hiding something, it's another. I go back to where they hired the brother, we've confirmed, of Luis Cifuentes, Juan Antonio Cifuentes, where Maverick County Commissioner's Court comes out and says, we're going to hire this position at this rate, $55,000. There's no name. Now, I've seen other hires that their name is there. Why for this particular item? There's no name listed on the agenda, and there's no name said out publicly so people can hear. And it just, I mean, to call it anything else, it's shady. All right, let's be honest, and it's shady. And that's what we don't want. We want transparency. We want to know what's going on in our community. Now, they were able to block me, but they weren't able to keep me from watching the show, right? So two things I want to bring up. Real quick before we end this live, guys, and we've been about 70, I think I saw it, close to 80 earlier. We've been going strong, and I thank you guys for tuning in. This is what we hope to bring you, interviews from the people that are there, so you guys can get the facts, get nothing but the truth, not coming from me, coming from, the straight person that can tell you the truth about what's going on situations. Two of the items that I would say, when they did speak about this issue of the HB 4280 in Commissioner's Court, Mr. Serna told you guys that it was a 3-2 voting. It was the vote was 3-2. Two county commissioners denied it, and two county commissioners approved it, with the judge being the deciding factor of ultimately the resolution is approved to support HB 4280. Now, the arguments from the two commissioners that voted against, Commissioner Roberto Ruiz and Commissioner Olga Ramos, Precinct 4 and Precinct 3, respectively. The argument from Ms. Olga Ramos, which it's a very good argument, speaking that there was no documentation, there were no numbers, there was there was just no documentation to, and she did say that she's all for it, but she needs to see some documentation, the numbers, which in anything, I mean, like when you're going to go buy something, you want to know how much it is before you commit to buying something, and the kind of investment that this was going to cause in creating a new district, solely for Maverick County. It's a lot of moving parts than I probably understand, than we probably understand at large. And the thing is that if you're going to have something like that, you need to have backup. And apparently at Commissioner's Court, there was no information. There was no information on how many cases were backlogged, even though we heard from Commissioner and the county judge that there's a backlog. Okay, understood. I would say, if there's a backlog, was there any kind of, documentation with facts, numbers, saying that, hey, creating the new district is better than maybe hiring some positions? Maybe rather than going and creating a whole new district where, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I'm going to defer to our district attorney, Mr. Serna, and he says, he says that it was close to $1 million. Now, if that's the true cost, now compare that to, let's say, hire 2 or 3 more attorneys to assistant district attorneys, or 2 more investigators. That's not going to be $1 million, guys. So that's what I'm just trying to say, is that Ms. Olga Ramos did bring it up. Commissioner Ramos brought it up and said that there was no documentation. And I think that's a smart, thought process, is that, hey, give us some numbers. Of course, like you're going to buy a house. You want to know what's wrong with the house. If there's anything, you want to know if it's in the floodplain. You want to know, is there anything old on the house? Is the house falling apart? You have to do your homework. And I think that was the thing that kind of touched a lot of people wrong in Commissioner's Court. And definitely we heard from District Attorney Serna that there was no backup. There was no supporting documentation. It was kind of just a bill being filed out of nowhere. Of course, to his understanding, we'll have State Rep Eddie Morales on the show on April 6th at 7:00, and maybe he can detail that, right? This meeting that took place, the Commissioner's Court meeting that I'm saying, it was yesterday. The bill was filed 2 weeks before Maverick County Commissioner's Court had a discussion on supporting this bill. Now, first things first, if there is a need, it needs to come from Maverick County Commissioner's Court saying, hey, state rep, congressman, whatever, we need this. We're going to pass this resolution because we need this. That wasn't the case in this one. It was done after the fact. And it's, I'm not saying, anything other than what is clearly being done out in public eye. You had County Judge David Salcedo. You had Commissioner Jerry Morales. uh, stating that if it needs to be funded, they will find money to fund it. This creation of this office. That's coming. And you can go back to the video. The commissioner's court meeting was yesterday. We were blocked, but magically we were unblocked now. So next commissioner's court will be out there. I'll let you know if they blocked me this time. But you have County Judge David Salcedo, Commissioner Precinct 1, Jerry Morales, saying that if this needs funding, the creation of the new district attorney's office, that if it needs funding, they will find funding for it. Okay. They're trying to work for our community. Now, have they tried to find funding for additional positions? We asked District Attorney Serna, have they approached you about, possibly extra positions rather than a whole creation of a new office? He said no. I mean, you can kind of say, hey, what let's compare maybe before we file. Let's find out how much this is really going to cost. But I mean, common sense. Me, I try to always base whatever I say or whatever I do on reasonable common sense. Creation of a district attorney's office that's going to have an election, have new office with staff, and a position for a district attorney of the 479th that's being proposed, versus 3-4 positions, 2 attorneys, 2 extra investigators that can be assigned to Maverick County. Now, you got to do those kind of compare and analysis before we jump the gun and try to, my reasonable thinking, before we make a process at the state level. And again, more than anybody, State Representative Morales is going to be the one that can tell you a little bit more than myself. And that's why we brought District Attorney Serna in to explain to you guys directly, because I can tell you whatever I want to tell you. And I can, tell you the truth, not tell you the truth, stretch the truth, minimize the truth. And that doesn't do me or you any good. What we need to hear is straight from these people, the truth. And then as a community, we make our decisions on how we feel about it after the fact. But in talking with the district attorney, he said straight out, no, I was never contacted for any support towards, the backlog in the pandemic. And that's what you heard in Merritt County's Commissioner's Court is backlog. Now, my other thing, was there any attorneys contacted? Commissioner Precinct 4 Ruiz mentioned that. Was there any attorneys contacted? Because ultimately, the attorneys are the ones that are going to have to deal with this new district attorney's office, or they're the ones that are going to be having to deal with the situation a little more directly than we are, besides being the Maverick County taxpayers. And apparently there was no letters of support from any attorney to be found to support this bill, other than, we do know Mr. Eddie Morales is a business owner. He's an attorney as well with Langley and Benak. And there was no other business owners that were contacted. I'm sorry. I take that back. There was no other attorneys. Commissioner Ruiz did mention, where the letters of support that other attorneys are saying, hey, we need another district attorney. And there was none at the time. I don't know if there's going to be any, brought out later on. But at the time there was nothing. And, there was nothing at the time. So, that's the process that we're talking about. That's kind of, it came to our attention whenever we started looking at the House bills, and the intention we have in speaking with State Representative Eddie Morales, we want to get him on the show to explain some of the bills that he's some of the bills that he's passing, during this legislative session, the 87th, I believe, the 87th Texas state legislative time session. And we want to know, hey, how does this benefit our community? And I think more than anything, nobody wants to watch this CNN old style CNS TV, whatever it was, that shows people when they're voting. And then, that's the old school type of stuff. We don't want to see any of those things, right? Fall asleep or anything. But that's why we're trying to bring you these regular shows every Wednesday, just to show you guys what's going on in our community. We're going to try to have somebody to interview you guys of, what's going on every Wednesday. Maybe we won't be able to, but this is what we're trying to bring you guys. The straight truth from, straight from the people, straight from our politicians, straight from elected officials, however it is you want to refer to them as. And another thing I did want to talk about was, a while back we did share a comment or a proposal, and there was an item in the agenda this past Monday for Commissioner Ruiz did say, hey, we're about to get X number of millions of dollars that are going to come down as per the rescue plan, the American Rescue Plan that was passed just recently, a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to have, these millions of dollars allocated to Maverick County and the city of Eagle Pass. What Commissioner Ruiz Precinct 4 advocated for was having a committee composed of small business owners and community members to see, get ideas and suggestions of where this funding can be most effective, right? So, and I don't know if you guys look at the agenda in the Maverick County agenda for yesterday or saw the video. There was a duplicate item, and it came before, Commissioner Ruiz's submitted item, and this item was submitted by County Judge David Salcedo. So County Judge David Salcedo wanted to have a commissioner, county judge to get together with the committee. There's nothing wrong with that. What I saw wrong by seeing the video was we had Commissioner Olga Ramos, Precinct 3, nominate Commissioner Ruiz, Precinct 4, who originally advocated for this idea. And I tell you, because that's what we picked up on our news, and we shared that and it had a lot of support from the community, because the community should have an input on how this funding is being utilized in our community, because at the end of the day, it's us, the community, that suffered through the COVID, through the freeze. I mean, it's you guys, right? It's not, of course, elected officials are citizens as well, but you guys should have some input on how this funding is being spent. And that's all the thing. It wasn't, anything other than that. And you have Commissioner Olga Ramos nominate Commissioner Ruiz, having been the original person that proposed this idea. And it didn't go well with the other. It didn't go well with the other commissioners, I guess, and the judge, because he was not nominated to be with the judge on this and the committee, and he was, for lack of better words, pushed out, of this situation. He was pushed out. I believe the one who did get nominated was Commissioner Jerry Morales, Precinct 1. And it's not a bad idea, guys. There should be a commissioner and the county judge. Okay, that's fine. You're the county judge. I understand. But if there's somebody nominating somebody, do you guys not know the community watches these videos? You blocked me. I couldn't comment on it because, y'all know I would have been all over that, commenting and saying, hey, what's going on here? And the thing is that you guys can go back. That video is on Maverick County Facebook site right now, and take a look at what I'm talking about. I'm not making any of this up. The video is there. Like I said, I can go back now and maybe comment on that video, being that they magically unblocked me. And guys, you saw when I shared it, I was blocked. It is what it is. Shout out to Media Link. I know you guys run the media down there. We're learning a few things down here too, you know. But I was blocked. It is what it is. I want to thank the community for all their support, for sending me, you know, hey, look, here's the link, here's the link, here's the link, because I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the link. And then when I finally get on that video, I wasn't able to comment, you know, and I saw what happened in those 2 items. You know, there was other things that happened in those items, and you guys, the community, I invite you, please watch these videos. I'm going to do my best to edit them and post them on our page, right? So you guys just can see the way things are being handled here in Maverick County. Now, I'm all for having a consensus, working together, but working together for the people. Okay? Now, let that sink in. Working together for the community and the people. We had 2 interviewees right now talking about working for the people. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, that's what elected officials are for. Working for you. You put them there, you have every right to hold them accountable for what they do, what decisions they make. And it doesn't matter. I mean, of course, Commissioner's Court has precincts. The City Council, they don't. But you need to hold them accountable. Another thing that I want to bring up right quick before we end our live is, again, going back to the topic of the district attorney, was that if they tell you their main argument is that we were backlogged for the district attorney was backlogged. Okay. It's understood they need help, maybe, but it was COVID that kind of pushed them back. Now, one thing I would question to Maverick County Judge David Salcedo, if you're out there watching, we hope you're watching. One thing I have a question about is that what about the backlog in the county court at law? What about that backlog, Judge? Maverick County has not have a Maverick County Court of Law or a jury trial in such a long time. So, what's the difference? Let me ask. You guys are the Commissioner's Court passed because it was a 3-2 vote. So, a backlog is a backlog to me. I always say that, hey, you know, Maverick County judge is saying that there's a backlog. Is there a backlog in the county court of law? And Judge, if you are listening, or any of, you know, his associates, friends, family members out there, maybe Mayor Cifuentes can pass them, you know, the word or something. But reach out to us, Judge. We would love to have you on our show, man. We would love to have you on our show, and that way we can ask these questions. You know, I'm not trying to be picking on any elected official whatsoever. This channel is for you guys to come and communicate to our community, you know. And I'm not going to give you guys any slack as far as, you know, I'm not going to put a ball in a tee so you guys can hit home runs. I mean, I asked Mayor, the City of Eagle Pass, a Del Rio, Bruno Lozano questions. I mean, maybe they weren't questions that he was comfortable, but I asked him questions as well as a district attorney, and that's what we want to do. We want to ask questions. The community wants to ask questions, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to reach Mayor Cifuentes. Mayor, hey, if you're out there watching, any family members, any friends of Mayor Luis Cifuentes, please tell them, let them know. We want to interview you guys. And it's not me, it's the community. The community wants to hear from you guys. And not in a statement, but field some questions, field some questions. I'm a strong believer. If you're able to field these questions, whether they're something maybe you don't want to answer, maybe something you do want to answer, but if you're able to take the questioning and walk through stride and everything, inform the community of what is really going on, then by all means you might be the one that needs to get elected. Again, I'm going to extend the invitation one more time, Mayor Luis Cifuentes. If you have some time, man, reach out to us. We were able to get a hold of Mayor Lozano from the city of Del Rio. He took some time to contact us. Of course, we were reaching out to him, and he had a little bit of time, and he got right back to us. And Mayor, if you're watching, thank you again, Mayor Lozano, for joining us. We appreciate it. And we want to say also with the judge, I mean, we're not just trying to bring you guys from a certain place, a certain group, anything like that. We are an open forum for you guys, so you guys can know what's going on in our community. And we want to invite also the county judge, David Salcedo. If you're out there, you're watching, you have friends that watching, let us know. We're flexible. We would love to bring you on the show. We have a regular at Wednesday, 8:00, but I mean, we won't make you conform to that. We're flexible for the community, so we can go ahead and bring them information. Now, we have and this is the last subject I'm going to touch on, guys. We were running an hour and 30 minutes, and we've been. I don't think we've hit any less than 40 viewers, and I appreciate you guys watching. You guys want to know what's going on in our community. I want to touch on this real quick because I did throw out a post not too long ago, a couple of days, having to deal with Shepherd Government Affairs. You guys can go back and check the page. You're asking who's the campaign manager for Luis Cifuentes. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. We are going to reach out to the city secretary of City of Eagle Pass. We're going to get you the campaign contributions for the mayor candidates, so you guys can see where they're spending their money, who is donating to these candidates. We're going to get you both. We're going to get you Rolando Salinas' information. We're going to get you Mayor Luis Cifuentes' information, because it's not about one or the other. I'm not for this one. I'm not for that one. I really am not. That's what needs to be understood here. I'm for the community being informed. I'm for the community making the right choice, whoever that may be. And that's one thing that I do want to stress. Shepherd Government Affairs has been on contract with the Maverick County. And like I said, we have the story up on our page. Please go back and check it out. They get paid $8,000 a month. $8,000 a month, which it's a hefty sum. We do have a confidential source. I'm not going to say employee, elected official, or anything like that. Just a confidential source that knows something in there. And what they question is, which is why we started looking into it, was, are they giving out tangible results, stuff that the community can see? What have they done? Now, if you guys it's just like I know you gotta pay to get results, and that's fine. Like with a small business, you gotta pay money to make money, and understood that that happens. Now, the state of Texas is going hard right now. They've had several hearings on banning exactly what Shepherd Government Group or Shepherd Government Affairs, banning companies that do that, lobbying companies that are taxpayer funded companies. So the state of Texas is coming hard on them. There's already been a hearing on the Senate. There's two House bills, or one House bill and two Senate bills already, that want to get rid of these taxpayer funded, because those 8,000 they get paid a month, guys, which is in they have a 3 year. They just got extended a third year. Up to date, the county, which is taxpayer money, has been paid 256,000. Now, I'm not saying maybe they've done they've merited, you know, that much money. Maybe they've brought millions of dollars to the county. Maybe, but what I'm asking and what the concern was from our confidential source inside Maverick County. Again, I'm not gonna say what who or was that you would ruin the whole confidential source, right? But they were questioning as to why they were extended 2 years. They're on their third year of the contract. What tangible results? What tangible results have they delivered to the community, right? And we also have examples of the invoices that they were submitting, which in the very beginning they were not reporting what was being done, other than services. That continued for about 6 months, and then eventually they started submitting, albeit repetitive tasks that they were accomplishing. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to say they didn't do this. I'm not trying to say they did do this. I'm just trying to say what I saw when I received these reports, or these checks that I requested from the county, and that you, the community, paid for by sending me donations to our Cash App, $ the Rising Texan Media. Thank you guys. And what we're trying to do here is just bring you guys information again. There was a concern. We're bringing you the concern. We bring you the information, the documents, so you guys can see. It's up on our page. Please, I invite you guys, take a look at it. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take it easy, or call it a show, not take it easy, right? You guys, I want to thank everybody that's commenting, because this is a public forum, so we want you guys to comment. We want your voice to be heard, so I appreciate it. I appreciate, at one point I think we had about 80 live viewers, so thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We appreciate that, and just look forward to our announcements. We'll be trying to get more interviews for you guys in this kind of setting. We can have multiple people lined up like we did today. It was just, by chance that Mayor Lozano was available for us. Again, thank you very much, Mayor, for taking time. We haven't heard from the Eagle Pass Mayor, but maybe he'll take some time, guys. Election's right around the corner. Maybe he'll want to speak with us then. But I want to thank you guys for joining us. You guys are what keeps this, the Rising Texan, going. I say that from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the ones that are driving this. I receive comments from you guys, messages, the support that I receive from y'all, and I just want to thank you. The blessings that you guys, the prayers that we receive from you guys, going through what we're doing. We need that kind of energy from you all, from our community. We need that energy to help us balance out our energy, and we're doing this for you guys, the people. We the people. That's in our Constitution, and we strongly believe that. Again, thank you guys for showing up. We really appreciate it. I just want a quick shout out to our sponsors that are a sponsor of this video, and we do advertise their things, that they're helping us out. Wagon Wheel Smokehouse and Saloon. Go visit our good friends out there. They're making delicious food every single day. This Friday they have their on Fridays they have their plate, the Cuaresma plate, and I personally tried it myself, and man, That's a gut buster, but it's delicious, guys. Fried fish, you get some shrimp in there, and oh man, I mean, it's good. Also, our other sponsor, eat Billy Perez, our other sponsor that has helped us out, Eat Fit Eagle Pass. What he does is helps out these fitness people or people that are not necessarily fitness but want to keep up with their health, and he does meal preps, prepares healthy meals, and what that does is help our minds, bodies, and souls be healthy and help us through this journey through this world, so I do want to give them a shout out. Thank you very much, guys, for sponsoring Eat Fit Eagle Pass and Wagon Wheel. I don't know if I'm overstepping, but I heard Wagon Wheel is maybe opening up the saloon sometime soon. So, guys, stay tuned. Hopefully, we get an announcement from our good friends out there in Wagon Wheel Smokehouse and Saloon that may be opening up since Texas is an open state now. So, thank you for the sponsors again. Our friends out at I'm sorry, Martinez Barbershop. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. You guys are also sponsors with a lot of support and everything. If you guys want to be a sponsor as well as of the Rising Texan, let us know. Reach out to us, therisingtexan@gmail.com. Send us a Facebook message. You can send it to my personal page as well. To see how we can help you guys out. We provide many different services. We can just advertise your ready-made, media stuff that you guys have prepared already with, a set flat rate. Or we can provide you guys, have a meeting with you, provide, speak with you about a conceptual target audience as far as a marketing strategy, who we're out here to get, what kind of audience we want to bring in for you, and we can create the graphics, or like I said, you can provide it. Of course, everything has its scale and cost. We are a startup, so we're not trying to gouge anybody's eyes out here. I think Wagon Wheels Smokehouse and Saloon and Eat Fit Eagle Pass can contest to that. But I just want to thank you guys one last time. Thank you to our sponsors of this show. Thank you for the people that we interviewed. Mayor Bruno Lozano out in Del Rio. He killed the show earlier. We also had our 293rd Judicial District Attorney Roberto Serna, just bringing you from his experience what happened with HB4280 and how he fit into everything like that. So we just want to let you know, as far as we're very thankful. We thank our interviewees. We thank you guys for tuning in, whether you were in and out or stayed through the whole show. We appreciate it. All right. So thank you guys. You guys are the best. We have the best community, not just Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Valverde County, Demick County, Carrizo. I know we have viewers from Carrizo out here. We want to shout out to them. Shout out to our viewers from Del Rio. Shout out, of course, the hometown, Eagle Pass, Texas. But we are all the same community, guys. At the end of the day, we're all here dealing with a border situation that we're trying to, through our page, let you guys know what's going on. And we thank you for tuning in. And next show, we're trying to bring you one every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We do have Eddie Morales, state rep, confirmed for April 6th, 7 o'clock. So tune in for that. That's going to be an interesting. We're going to go over several bills, and he can tell you as our state rep what are these bills for and what intentions they have and everything. All right. So you guys, please stay safe. I know we're having our border crisis. Please stay safe out there in these streets. And we just want to say thank you. We'll catch you next time. God bless. Stay safe. See you guys.